This day 730 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sign up, come and share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Tav Nun Aleph, Seif Yud to Yud Zayin. This is Sakinim Yud. Sakinim Shel Chametz, knives of Chametz, Mikra Din Harein Kol Kelim. According to the letter of the law, they are like all the best of Tashmish Mechami, which are used with hot food. It's tzarich lago and you have to do kash them in a boiling pot. Come nevertheless midas chasidus yesh lasos ezem mal b'sakinim. So the midas chasidus is to upgrade our kashering of knives. Yesh tashmish type of chametz because they use very frequently for chametz. Yesh postakim shem nikorim and they have cracks and crevices, micro cracks, I guess, which are not easily seen. Sometimes use your knife like a skewer. Put the bread on it in order to bake it on the fire. Or you cut a fleshik kugel, like a pot pie. It's on the fire. And it should really have it should be kosher simply with fire, not with water. Just like the people who require for knives, which were used for a primitive substance, libun mitam zeh, libun for that reason. Much cloudier there. So some you can make new knives for Pesach, raise them b'shubach. That's best. Some you can't. Yabin habarzel be'esh. You should make the knife part, the blade, hot with libun, actual fire. Bakata brosli. The handle he can dunk into the kashering. Being gamze kosher, there's also the book because she's kalka barzo. It's a possess such as the metal is going to get ruined. Then you can dip the whole thing into boiling hot water. Arukh HaShulchan, as you go out to the majority of its uses. Arukh HaShulchan uberoschin shel chotech chametz cham. And most of its usage is to cut hot chametz, which I guess is not necessarily the same thing as cooking. Right? It's off the fire, so therefore it's coming into contact with hot, but not on the fire. So therefore, you would not have to do libun. You could just do hagola. V'himakata who shall eat the handles made of wood, umudua masmerik danim, and it's secured by small nails. Yeshi shoma those say she'enamol hagola. The kasha doesn't work. Here's gumas b'shom. There are holes in there. It's the bach. That's just a stam b'chumra. Now the hakim because shabazim b'chumra tova akata. Our custom is when the handle is firmly the blade is firmly embedded in the handle. Ain't stuck him, and there are no cracks between the two of them. Malgin also we dip the whole thing as we kosher it as is. The Shabura says that if the handle is made of two parts which are glued together, and there's a gap between the two parts, which is where you stick in the knife blade, then the kosher doesn't work. And the stuff gets stuck in there. It's like that effect. Long brackets is here, but first, long. Before, we're not there yet. Just you have to remove the rust, which is the rust which is on the blade, or on any part of the knife, for that matter. The brackets here says, you shouldn't put anything on the heating oven. Also some sort of heating mechanism. Because we're afraid there's chametz on it for the rest of the year. Even if you put on a thick coating of pitch, a finger's breadth, and those Asking those that permit. Akam Shono. It's clear if you put burning coals in the kochlin. I tried to find out what a kochlin is, but it's not. I looked it up. It just says type of oven. So if you put burning coals in the kochlin, it's okay. The Tana base screen lizanka in the heating oven. Shagodo harbe, which is very large. We do before aluminum foil. We do use a covering of pitch. That's those who permit it. Put a new shelf on top of that the heating oven. You can obviously use it on Pesach. Don't we know that? And obviously back then was much more difficult than today, but it's different. They just didn't use the oven of the rest of the year. I guess the stove top because it's very difficult. It was very difficult to be machshavit. The Mishnah says it's also difficult to be machshavit by other yisurim. So he says in any event, you should be machmir on Erev Pesach after chatzos. Not sure why that's relevant. Anyway, the Arukh HaShulchan says, I guess we'll see when we get there. Any kli which needs either to be glowing or to be dunked. Oh, I messed up. That's why I didn't understand it. Mishmur says about the ovens, when you put something like a metal between the stove top and the pot on top, or you put on a coating of pitch, which is the thickness of a finger, you can actually use your regular stove, not like the Arukh HaShulchan. Okay, so that and you have in this he says that anything which requires libun or agola, you can't use it even cold until you kasher it. The Mishnah says that that's true by other yisurim as well. You should not use the vessel for cold, even cold stuff, until you kasher it. And therefore he says to you machmir here, even if it's not yet Pesach, on Erev Pesach after chatzos as well. If you use it just on occasion, looks at the Evid, it's okay. But the Evid, if you already use it, or if you're obviously in a bind, if it was clean, or you rinsed it out previously. To use. Mishnah says you have to also scrub it. Anything which requires libun, and all you did was hagola without libun, then in that case, and use boiling stuff in there. Also, have the Evid, that stuff is also. Because not all the chametz came out through the kashrut. It comes out gradually over time. And the scabbard, which you place a knife, the sheath, shoots a tik, place you stick the knives the entire year. And I go my lisla. It's leather. You can't put it in hot water to go. If you because you can't clean it properly, from the chametz which is sticking to it. In Pesach, on Pesach shouldn't put the knives in there. So if the ox has to be roast, if you want to open up the sewing on these scabbards, there and to scrape it very well on the inside. I feel like you don't even have to do kashering. Because it was never used for hot. You base when you say to do hagola, the kashering in a kli rishon means the kli which is heated on the fire. And even if it's just removed from the fire, as long as the yatzlospa, which is a very big kula. Very big kula. Which the Bura says not that way. The Bura says they have to be boiling the whole time. On the fire, off the fire, Arukh HaShulchan is a tremendous kula. But any vessel before you kasher, you have to remove all the rust from it. And the knife when it has rust, you have to scrape it well with a sharpener or bevan or stone. The sakin o shar kli bo gumos, a knife or any other vessel which has holes. Veni yochel nakosa. Yofen, you can't clean it well. Aim wilo hagola, you can't kosher it either. So libun, you have to just use white hot fire. Mokum agumos, in the place where the holes are. And yachshon gichon burst, meaning to put there burning coals. It says you should do it before you kosher the rest of the keli. And don't do it after. Didn't do it before. You can still do it after. Dafka chalul sheish be'mamoshes. Only about removing rust, which is substance. Avashchoros ba'am is a dark spot, a mimus or a red spot. Biros machavos, like machavos, like you find in pots and pans. Afashafil achar soras achaluda. Even if you take off the rust, nisha aroshim, there's still an impression left there. Discoloration, whatever. Listen, but it's not a problem. Practical. If that was the case, you wouldn't find any vessel that you could actually kasher. You give a vessels which you use over the fire without any water, such as skewers and racks, which you use to roast in the fire, etc. They have to be made white hot to be kasher. The Shabbat says if you roasted on it a kishka or other type of chametz, such as you dried on a bread, even the smallest amount, and you didn't do libun on it, even if you did do koshering, and then you roasted on a meat on Pesach, it's also in the oven. But if it was hefsei merubeh, it's a great loss. Oh, shoya ena ben yomo, or at least at the vessel not be used for 24 hours. So then you can make it after you kosher it, as long as there's 60 in the meat to be mevatel the absorbed substances. Okay. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. But these can which are used by fire without water, doesn't work for them. The mashabal they mine anything which absorbs through water, come bishul, but like by cooking. Poly they mine it releases only through water. Masha they but it releases through water. Aval mashabal they or which got embedded in the walls. That's not what I'm looking for, but it got absorbed in the walls. Or by fire, they mine won't come out by water, or only by fire. So whatever these pans are, they used to cook bread or milk, flesh, cook in them, they need libun. Mishnah says it's true even if they put oil or fat or butter underneath the substance being cooked in the pan. It still requires libun. Which nowadays people do use a blowtorch for. But a pan in which people fry bread with fat or with oil, or chema, or butter, have a kibishul as a cooking, v'dai bagola, and therefore it's enough to do agola. I guess it's more liquid. Mali mayim, mali shuman. Whether it's like if it's water or fat. V'avagav, the shuman harbei pachos mimayim shebekdeira, even though there's going to be a lot less fat in the pot. There's water. Halloween shear, but there's no specific shear necessary. The Shebura says that those who want to say that oil, that fat is not considered to be a beverage, and it's like the flesh of an animal. So then, if you cooked it, it's going to be said to be cooking the vessel should be said that vessel should be seen to be used by fire, which requires libun. But the Lashon person is not mashed that way. Okay. Avamachas. Some people say you have to do libun on a pan. Sometimes the fat dries up, and the pan bakes the bread. And then die believe mukal, it's enough to have a light libun, but die kashdi swapel and bechutz. And the parameter of that, he says, is when a straw would burn on the outside of the pot. I mean, at least however, if they did Agola, that's what they did in the end. So then, Sagi b'diavad, it's okay. B'diavad im em bagumos, if there are no nooks and crannies. And but you know, so don't make him go through the trouble of being laminate. Acharkach afterwards, chen iko dina Sagi of Agola, because the strict letter of law is that kashering with water is sufficient. I'm saying base. Yudal, halibun agamur achiu nitosus nitos man. Absolute libun is that sparks fly out from the place where it comes in contact with the fire. Jabur says, or till the top layer of whatever you're lapping comes off. Some say it's enough that straw burns on the outside. When it absorbed the chametz, it was mutter. The dye believe because that's enough to have this light libun. Those who hold the chametz mikra yisur bala. Chametz called that absorb isur. The shame chametz mikra isur gabe pesach avkorim pesach. The prohibition on chametz is isur before, even though it's still mutter, but it's isur vis-a-vis pesach. But the minig is mekel. So this is I actually until the straw burns. Oh, 1 second. It says, even the Eved, you have to forbid it if you use the Pesach without libun. Or at least kashri. The place of Efsim Rubah, or curtailment of Simchas Yantif, and the pot was not Ben Yomo from the last time they used the chametz, you can rely on B'diavad and the post that chametz is called a chametz is called heterabola, and it's enough to use to hagola or libun cow. So qualifies Arukh HaShulchan Hazel b'davar shebevadet tzarich libun. So it was definitely across libun. Is which were just machmer to do libun, like a pan, or shesh b'kli stokim, or gumos, or chaluda shetzach libun, or we require libun because it has nooks and crannies or rust. Type libun kal shibaron is enough to do light libun. Achatzuva, which is a tripod, hakli shesh shlosh regalim, it's a vessel which has 3 legs shmavdim, akdera aleh, upon which you put the pot, tzricha libun. It requires libun lifamim, yishbami akdera, because sometimes it spills in the pot on it. There's a dough in the oven, and a piece of that dough falls on the oven itself. It's like the skewer. So libun has to do, it requires libun. Milner sagi libun kal shakash misraf mechutz. Says libun kal will suffice for this piece of dough which fell. Presumably you removed the dough, just not doing the libun on the place where it fell. The Shabura says, but Yevet, if you didn't do libun, we don't aser. So this is the tripod. You got your gas and your range. If you didn't do libun, it's still going to be mutter b'diavad. Libun on electric range is very easy, of course. You just turn on the range full. Libun on a gas range, but pashtus, if you turn on full, also the tripod will be considered to have undergone libun kal after it gets really hot. Tezvav kol echsher ukafi tashusho. Every time you want to kasher something, it's based on its usage. In tashusho kli rishon, if using kli rishon mokaf, she's sort of there like a spoon used to mix a pot. Kli shishom kli rishon, also a ladle which used to take from a pot. Tzach l'shem kli rishon, you have to imagine a kli rishon. But you should know the chorn yireh barur. It seems clear that also shel tishmisha. Idea or something which is used by fire, such as a pot in which you cook. Lo mahani hagola b'kli rishon. You can't do hagola on it in a kli rishon, unless a dafka eish is still in the fire. Of the Quran bar le'el simin shinu ches, we learn the kli rishon hava madrega b'schusa Miyamod Ahmed Salesh. Kli Rishon off the fire. It's not the same level as Kli Rishon on the fire. Came forward with Yerushalmi. Came it's by Rambam. Yerushalmi Rambam the same shot. Came to Bagola have a cloud. Kitash Misha and Kenachir. So since by kashering, the way you use the way you have to be machir. In case you mishtamshim idea, also idea or kamochin tzorich hechsher. If you put it next to the fire, then you have to hechsher next to or on the fire as well. V'chem ashlosh Rambam shkas barricades, sound like Rambam saying this in the Chav Gimel. Kli matchos and kli avonim, metalware, stoneware. Shem chametz used with chametz. Beroschim, the boiling hot chametz, kli rishon. Kikon k'der sofasim, such as different types of pot. No sino somato klei go shamayim. You put these pots into larger pots of water. You boil them, b'socho, inside achivtu until they give off the taste. Then you rinse off with cold water. Shtavish bohem b'matzah, and you use it now for matzah for Pesach. Akalashona. I was custom akdei shemartichim b'tocho, klamar tichnaish. So it's right clearly on pots in which you cook them inside, and of course you have to kash them from scenes from here on the fire. Test sign. That's not where the Torah Shulchan. Because im tashmishon b'keli rishon, if they use in the kli rishon, kon kash megisim okder such as the spoon, tzarich lechshir b'kli rishon, have to be machshir in the kli rishon. Akal shono. That matching alesh. Arei akaf tashmishon kshek der alesh. Use the spoon when the pot is on the fire. B'kshir b'kli rishon. Whereas you just say all you need to kash it is that it be a kli rishon. Not necessarily on the fire. The Balabushka said before, Kunkadesh Materas Okaf. And the Lush makes it worse by specifying, tell you about a metal pot or spoon. And shum. You know, if we're going to say this really like Kli Rishon Maflit, how much Nivalei they, or if you're going to say that they hold that Kli Rishon can also take out the absorption, which is done by fire itself, well, we know the Omarkain. How do you know? At least they should have said this. Clearly, never seems to be says Arukh HaShulchan. The Vimash behind you're there, Simon Samaches, Simon Shinu Ches, Lo Nach the Rishon Levar, Fresh Benzel Zeh. They don't distinguish between Ala Aish and non Ala Aish. Kulon Kalabash and Kli Rishon. They don't include in language Kli Rishon. Chen Gam Kankam and Asaken. And here too, they mean Kli Rishon, Ala Aish. The Dina Vayel Mahani Bikdera Okav Shekisabo Hakdera Hago Bikli Rishon Mel Saish. So, of course, circular of law, you have to do Hagola on the pot, or later, which is in the soup, on a Kli Rishon in a pot, in a vessel, which is also on the fire. It's by the man, but there are coffee, there are Kli Rishon and Bamel Seish should be staying in the fire. Or something that people do is they put hot bricks into the water to have a ganking ish. Hot brick is like on the fire, which is we shall see. It's possible this is also only like a Kli Rishon, this brick, not like Rishon Eish. That feel Kli Rishon, because the sheet is all side of Kli Rishon altogether. Uzayin, the piece of Kli Shel Tashmish Al Eish, according to this, a vessel which used on the fire, Shel Gange Eish, Kash is also Kash by fire. Kli Shel Tashmish Al Kli Rishon, vessel used in Kli Rishon, Akash Sul Eish Meish, we have to zoom from the fire, Shel Gange Kain, that's your Makshu them. Kol Shel Kli Shtamish B'Kli, Kol Shel Kli Shtamish Kli Sheni, a vessel which used as a Kli Sheni, Kagon Shel Tachvu Kaf B'Kara, such as when you put a spoon into a plate, into a bowl, which they poured from the pot, then you have to do hechsher b'klisheni. Klisha tashmish b'irui, a vessel which is used for pouring, like a plate in which you show the tocha, which they spill stuff in the pot. Hechsher they irui mikli rishon. It can also be kosher by pouring from kli rishon. But klisheni lamai, but klisheni doesn't work. But to put those things into a plate, even if yatzah, that doesn't work. So brackets ayin tasi contest shagam hulo diktek ben aide or kirishon doesn't distinguish between when it's on fire, not the fire. But or continues ogumos or chaluda ba'om shiv shai nakon hakosam if there are hole nooks and crannies, splits and holes, or rust, in a manner that you can't properly clean it. Lo mahani b'makom z'hagola. It doesn't work this place to do hagola. And the you have to put coals on that spot. It says even a new vessel, you never use it. Only one time, you poured on it chametz from a kli rishon. You still have to kasher it by a irur kli rishon.